Mr. Jose Maria Concepcion III, the Chairman of the ASEAN Business Advisory Council of the Philippines and Presidential Advisor for Entrepreneurship, and to the ASEAN Business Advisory Council chairs, we have, he's my seatmate, Mr. Arin Hira, the ASEAN Business Advisory Council Chair from Thailand, members of the business and economic industry, members of the diplomatic corps, officials and representatives of government offices, and to our distinguished guests and speakers, international delegates, and participants. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. How is everyone here today? Good. Congratulations to the ASEAN Business Advisory Council Philippines, led by Mr. Joey Concepcion. Thank you for organizing the Tourism Summit 2019. This initiative exemplifies your belief in the potential of sustainable and responsible tourism to help our people. I am happy to be here today representing the Department of Tourism and to be among all of you, the leaders and perhaps disruptors of the tourism sector in the Philippines and around the region. Thank you for inviting the Department of Tourism and including us in your program. Southeast Asia is unique in the world, and it is most certainly our region's diversity that has made our destination popular with tourists from around the globe. Tourism represents such an important component of the economy of all ASEAN member states, but most especially for developing ones like the Philippines. Tourist arrivals to ASEAN states accounted for 9.5% of world tourist arrivals in 2017. There were 269.8 million ASEAN international air passengers in 2017. Given that strategic programs and projects are fully implemented, it is anticipated that by 2020, the GDP contribution of ASEAN tourism could increase from 12% to 15%. Tourism share to total employment in the region could increase from 3.7% to even 7%. And per capita spending by international tourists could increase from $877 to $1,500. So how is the Philippines contributing to fulfill this vision for ASEAN in the next decade? According to the Philippine Statistics Authority, tourism contributed 12.2% to the country's gross domestic product in 2017. That translates to 1.9 trillion earnings and a boost for the Philippine economy. Tourist arrivals in the Philippines have been increasing steadily in the last decade. In 2018, we welcomed 7.1 million international visitors, despite the closure of Boracay for 6 months, which is a 7.65% increase compared to 2017. That's our most to date. For January and Feb of 2019 alone, we recorded a total of 1.4 million international visitors, an increase of 5.9% compared to the same period in 2018. As for domestic arrivals, I am pleased to announce that we've already surpassed our targets. It was projected that there would be 89 million domestic tourists by 2022, but as of 2017, domestic tourists are already at 97 million. I'm also happy to tell you that tourism revenue is at an all-time high. The latest figures show us that in 2018, tourist spending amounted to $7.8 billion. Again, that's a 14.7% increase from our 2017 figures. But what do these figures really mean? Quite simply, they mean jobs. In 2017, 13.1% of total employment was directly attributed to the tourism sector. That's 5.3 million jobs for Filipinos. That alone should inspire us to do all that we can and make that number even higher. We at the Department of Tourism know we can. But we all need to work together to do that. Our plan is for the Philippines to be a quality destination. For that, we need to be able to prioritize the following. First, of course, is adequate infrastructure. Second is ease in travel facilitation. Third is safety and security. And fourth, develop tourism areas. To ensure that we get this done, the DOT is implementing a convergence approach where the department works in partnership with other national government agencies. Under our convergence program, we are working with the Department of Transportation in the construction, rehabilitation, and upgrading of our domestic and international airports. The Philippines is surrounded by water, which means 98% of tourists arrive by air. That makes it vital for us to build more gateways as well as improve the existing ones we already have. As of now, we have 12 international gateways that service 49 tourism development areas in the Philippines, and 8 have already undergone rehabilitation and improvement. In 2018, we saw the construction and opening of new airports, such as the Mactan Cebu International Airport, that can now accommodate 12.5 million passengers per year. The Bohol Panglao International Airport was also inaugurated last year with an annual capacity of 3 million passengers. We are also currently building new airports, including a new terminal at Clark International Airport that is due to open next year. In the pipeline are the Bicol International Airport in Legazpi, expansion plans for Manila, Davao, Iloilo, Calibo, Puerto Princesa, and Laguindingan airports. We have also collaborated with the Department of Public Works and Highways on the Tourism Road Infrastructure Program, building roads and thoroughfares that will make traveling around our islands safer, easier, and more inviting. In 2018 alone, the program received a total of 30.9 billion in funding, equivalent to 885.86 kilometers of tourism roads. Being an archipelago, our country depends on either sea or air travel for intra and international travel. The DOT closely coordinates with the Department of Transportation in developing ports that tourists can use to connect from island to island. With better airports, seaports, and roads, we not only bring in local and international tourists to these destinations, but we also provide rural areas with improved transportation, access to goods, employment opportunities, and livelihood. Traditionally, some 70% of our products are anchored on sun and beach tourism, but we are diversifying by providing a wider array of products, focusing on wellness, dive, nature-based, adventure, culture tourism, MICE, and others, underscoring the need for greater cooperation with various local government and private entities. I'd like to specifically mention agri-tourism or farm tourism. My previous post at the Department of Agriculture, where I worked there for 12 years, showed me exactly what this great country of ours has to offer. What we have in diversity, richness of culture, and our people is amazing. There is so much, much more than the number of islands in our archipelago. For everyone's benefit, the current number is 7,641 islands. That's a lot, but yes, more than that. I can tell you so many stories just from my experiences going around the country A lot of them meeting, sitting down, talking, and yes, eating with our farmers. The Farm Tourism Development Act of 2016 institutionalizes the farm tourism program of the government. This opens new perspectives for inclusive and sustainable agriculture and rural development. It also provides additional income to our farmers and those that live in the countryside. This also aligns nicely with the promotion of our food or culinary tourism, which highlights the unique culinary tradition of our regions. Sustainable tourism is at the core of the development principle of the Department of Tourism. We welcome all and invite everyone to invest in our economic potential, but we cannot accept progress without the inclusive development of all our stakeholders. It's the only way we can truly create quality destinations in the regions. Sustainability means responsibility. That means taking care of the environment, of our natural resources, our heritage sites, and our people. It's about developing a destination not only for the economic gains it will bring today, but for the benefit of the generations that will come after. Boracay is the model for our sustainability program, and we are also watching popular destinations such as El Nido in Palawan, Panglao Bohol, and soon Siargao. These islands, well, some are currently being rehabilitated, not with the same strict 6-month closure, but through close partnership with the local government. Sustainability tourism is all about investing in people, providing training and proper tools to raise our workers' capacity and capability. One of our initiatives is actually part of the ASEAN agreement. In 2017, the Office of the President directed that we fully implement the ASEAN Mutual Recognition Arrangement on tourism professionals. Together, we are forming a network of master trainers who can exchange knowledge and teach potential employees in the housekeeping, food production, food and beverage services, and front office labor divisions. To fully realize our vision, I am inviting local and regional business sectors to invest in developing in our tourism areas. We welcome all kinds of businesses from accommodation to food and beverage services. We need transport operators, tour and travel agencies. We require facilities that will help us provide tourists the best experience, whatever product they choose, from beach adventures to wellness retreats. The DOT is asking all of you to be our partners. In the spirit of bayanihan, we all need to work together. Bayanihan is a cherished Filipino value. It is about championing the value of working together towards a common goal and for the common good. That informs the DOT's thinking and approach, how we can actually get things done and not just said. To truly make a change in people's lives, we need to involve the communities, and that includes the private sector. Since we relaunched It's More Fun in the Philippines campaign, several companies from the private sector have pitched in to promote the Philippines globally for free. Companies like Cebu Pacific and Jollibee have gladly offered to help aligning with the DOT on how to best promote the country and to tell the rest of the world why we're more fun. Here's what they've done so far. there is still so much to be done and still so much more we can do. So we're asking you to be our partners. Be part of the fun. Join us in telling the world on what more really means. So it's more fun in the Philippines. Salamat at mabuhay kayong lahat.